What's good, YouTube? It's Quinn Wade Basketball Analysis coming to y'all with a quick video. Today we gonna talk about Derrick Rose, a guy that hasn't been on the team. We was worried to see if he was gonna make a team. We didn't know if he was gonna be out the league for the rest of the year. After what he did in Cleveland, his career basically almost was over. He only played 16 games with the Cavaliers, and 7 of those games he started. He gave you 10 points, 43% from the field, 25 from three, 85 from the free throw line, 1 rebound, 1 assist. Um, and he only took 8 shots a game. Obviously, these numbers don't matter as much considering that he didn't really play that much. He didn't really get that many opportunities. But when he did play, he played hard. He showed that he wanted it. He showed that he can still play at this level. He deserves to be in the NBA. Ain't like they just giving him a deal because he's Derrick Rose. He still can play. He still has something left in the tank. He proved that in New York, averaging 18, getting better after the injuries. Obviously, he shot 47% from the field, which is almost a career high. And he focused on driving, focused on the stop and pop mid range jumper, gave you assists when he needed to. Um, he's still not. He still hasn't changed that much. Obviously, the attack style is worse for him now because he only can get to the rim every blue moon. He's not as athletic. He doesn't finish at like he used to compared to the first 3-4 years in the NBA. He's not as explosive. He don't have the leaping ability. He doesn't have the finishing ability that he had then. Also, he still can't really shoot besides the little floaters and a little 15-foot in jump shots or even a little step back pull up jumper that he's been having for the last 3-4 years. He still has that in his repertoire. But when you asking a guy, you giving a guy $1 million, at this point, I don't really think it matters if Derrick Rose is the old one or not. You're not asking Derrick Rose to be the old Derrick Rose. You're just asking him to come out, play hard, and contribute to you guys winning. Obviously, Minnesota is fighting for a playoff spot. They're fighting to make the playoffs since they haven't made there for the last 14 years, almost 15 years. They're just trying to get as much help as they can. They're just trying to get as much talent as they can. And Derrick Rose is a nice pickup for them because that gives them another scorer, especially off that bench, where they can get a little bit, they ain't as deep as other teams. They still do have some point guards like Teague, like Tyus Jones. Obviously, you still have other players like Aaron Brooks that is at that point guard position. Um, but Derrick Rose, he has to learn how to play as a team. He still is a one-dimensional player. He likes to just take all the shots as he can. That could be good and that could be bad, considering that he can give them instant offense off the bench. He can give them some shot creation and some shot making off that bench. But you still also have Jamal Crawford, that's going to come off that bench and try to come in and give as much energy as he can and put up as many shots as he can. Um, Jamal Crawford obviously ain't having the best season of his career. He is 37 years old. He's not as explosive as he once was. He basically in the same tank and field as Derrick Rose, but he's a lot more older. So you can't really, blame him from slowing down a little bit. But I think this is a good pickup at the end of the day. Having Derrick Rose come in, give you, 20, maybe 18 to 23 to 25 minutes a game, coming in, trying to give you a lot of depth at that point guard position, giving you instant offense, able to create shots for himself. Karl-Anthony Towns, they can play in the pick and roll where Derrick Rose can dump it off to him in the pick and roll to get a stop and pop, to dump it off to him to get a layup or a dunk or an alley-oop, or sometimes even a three. Derrick Rose still can create his own shot. He's not as good and as efficient as he once was, but he only has been making progress. He's still working on that three ball, something that he has not been able to perfect, something that he has not been able to put in his game is the floor spacing and playing off the ball. I think that hurts him in this case. That he still struggles to play off the ball because he can't shoot. Um, and you would think that he would have solved that out or smoothed it out as his career has went on. But like I said, he's only really good at the 15 end. But at the same time, it could help him knowing your strengths, knowing your bread and butter can take you very far because you already know what you can do. You're not trying to do anything more than what you can. And, his game is still effective. Regardless if we think he's washed up or not, he still shows that he can be effective at what he does. And if he can continue to hit those floaters, if he can continue to find ways to get to the rim, even if you got to use more handles, even if you got to use more moves to get to the paint. Minnesota needs that in general. Because I always told you guys the thing that I don't like about the Timberwolves is I just don't like their bench. And I said that going into the season, they're going to have to rely a lot on their starters. They don't have to rely on them to do a lot of the heavy lifting because their bench is weak. But it has improved a little bit, and we're starting to see how good this bench can be come playoff time. But they have some names on here that they ain't the same player. Their best bench player is probably Gorgie Dang, and obviously you still have Jamal Crawford. But other than that, they don't really have nothing. No names on this list that pops out to you as a threat that makes you go crazy. And I'm not saying Derrick Rose gonna come in and be the sixth man of the year. I'm not saying Derrick Rose gonna come in and give you 15 to 20 points a game off the bench, but you want something. You want as much talent as you can on your roster, the most opportunities as you can to win games. And I think Derrick Rose still can add that to this team as a veteran, as a guy that's still been effective for the last couple of years, even though he has been declining, even though he has been falling off, he still has found ways to score the basketball and make plays for others. He's never been a high assist guy. He never been a tremendous defender. He never been the most efficient player offensively, even though he had a couple solid seasons. But he still can do something, and that's score the basketball. So I want to see how this is going to work out. If how many minutes is Tibbs going to play him? How they going to use him and utilize his skill set so that way he doesn't become a black hole. He doesn't become a ball dominant player. He doesn't become, a problem in the locker room. I want to prove myself. I want more shots. I want more opportunities. I don't really think Derrick Rose is that type of guy. He never really proved to be that type of guy, but he has been the guy that is a fearless person. He's a hard worker, um, and he has a lot of, looking back at his career, he still has a lot of things to prove. He still has to find out is this his career? Going to Cleveland kind of hurted him a little bit because they gave him reality. Derrick Rose, we need you to come off the bench because you're not the player that you used to be. We're not trying to make you the player that you used to be, and we don't believe you're going to get back to the player we used to know. We just need you to fill this role, and the role is coming off of the bench, which he did for the first time in his career. Even though he did start some games, he has been coming off the bench mostly for the Cavaliers. And now this is going to be a transition from being the franchise guy to being a role player, and now having a specific role on the team that we all might be surprised, but we have to accept it because he's 29. He still got some game, but we all know that he will never be back to Derrick Rose that we know and love. And that hurts the fans, that hurts the team, that hurts us. But at the same time, he needs to accept it. He needs to play hard in this role, show that he can still play on his NBA level, show that he still deserves to be in the league and that he still has been improving. And even though he has a lesser role, he can still make a big impact on this roster and rosters in the future, and hopefully he can eventually add that jump shot that can give him an extra 3 to 4 to 5 years on his career. Um, that's beautiful if he can play longer than he is now. But he struggled to make a roster. He didn't want to sign the 10-day. He thought he was better than a 10-day contract, which is smart. And he ended up getting signed for the rest of the season. So it was worth waiting it out, worth being patient. Something good gonna come out of it eventually if you work hard and try your best and try to become the best player you can. And I think Derrick Rose is still continually doing that. But he got slapped in the face by reality, and now he has to adjust. He has to accept it, and at the end of the day, make the right changes and add what he has been missing in his game to prolong and give him longevity in his career. And that's something that we all know, but we all have to see is he's gonna be able to do it. I'm rooting for Derrick Rose. I don't want to see him fail. I don't want to see him injured. I want to see him have a good ending to his career. He might not be the Hall of Famer that we thought he was going to be. He might not be the franchise guy, but you still got to root for him because he's a good guy. He's positive and he works hard. And, he still has something left in the tank. Check out my website, analysisplayground.com. Link will be in the description, comment section below. Check out my website, analysisplayground.com. Link will be in the description in the comment section below. If you're on YouTube, Coin Wave Basketball Analysis signing out. And let me know what you guys think about Derrick Rose joining the Minnesota Timberwolves.